Ever looked in the mirror and barely recognized the woman staring back? You used to laugh freely, dream wildly, love deeply, and now you're just surviving in a relationship that's draining the life out of you. Let's talk about how to let go and how to find you again. Hi everyone, I'm Anisha Nassali and I'm a relationship life coach, and I help women heal from emotional abuse and toxic relationships, especially the ones that feel impossible to walk away from. If you've ever found yourself asking, why can't I just leave? Or why do I miss someone who keeps hurting me? You're in the right place. This channel is a safe space for healing, whether you're just starting to see the red flags or you've tried leaving hundreds of times before. I'm here to guide you gently, without judgment, because sometimes letting go isn't about just strength. It's about clarity and learning how to stop carrying pain that was never yours to hold. So if you're ready to take the first step, or even just think about it, let's walk through this together. First of all, identifying a relationship that's hurting you. Sometimes it's obvious. It doesn't start with a big betrayal or blow up fights. It starts with little things. You stop smiling as much. You second guess your words. You feel drained after spending time with them, but you can't explain why. Hurtful relationships often hide behind habits. Maybe you've normalized the silence, the criticism, the emotional distance. You start telling yourself, maybe I'm just being sensitive, or it's not that bad. But here's the truth. If you constantly feel unseen, unimportant, or unsafe, that's not love, that's survival. Healthy relationships might have rough patches, but they don't leave you feeling small. They don't chip away at your confidence or confuse your sense of self. Take a moment and ask yourself, am I more myself with this person or less? Because the first step to healing is letting go. It's telling the truth about what's actually happening, not the version you wish it was, not the version you keep convincing yourself of. The real version. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit that the love you're in is hurting more than it's helping you. Secondly, accepting the nature of the problem. Letting go isn't about walking away. It's about convincing your own mind, and that is the hardest part, or at least it can be. Your brain is wired to hold on to what's familiar, even when it hurts, even when it's breaking you down slowly. That's why so many women stay, not because they don't know it's unhealthy, but because their mind hasn't caught up with their truth yet. Your brain will tell you, maybe it will get better. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm asking for too much. But none of that is clarity. It's fear dressed as logic. To begin letting go, you have to name the reasons why staying is hurting you. Write them down. Speak them out loud. Read them back to yourself when your heart starts to forget. And here's the trick. Talk to your subconscious like a friend. Remind yourself, I'm not giving up on love. I'm giving up on pain. I'm choosing peace. The more you teach your mind what safety and respect looks like, the easier it becomes to release the things that don't align with that. Because you don't have to prove your worth by staying where it's not seen. Step 3. Allow yourself to feel the pain. One of the biggest reasons we stay in painful relationships is because we've learnt to be numb. Your mind over time starts to tune out the pain. Not because it's gone, but because it doesn't know what to do with it. You stop reacting to the cold comments, the emotional withdrawal, the broken promises. You just adopt. But healing can't begin in numbness. To truly let go, you have to feel what's happening to you. Not just think about it. Feel it. Let yourself cry. Let yourself be angry. Let yourself grieve the version of love that you hoped for but didn't get. Psychologically, the process allows the brain to reconnect with the truth. It helps break down the cycle, tolerating mistreatment. Furthermore, it teaches your nervous system what actual harm feels like, so it can stop calling it normal. This isn't weakness, it's the first sign of waking up. The next step is setting boundaries. Many women make the mistake of considering letting go as one final goodbye. Sometimes it begins with small, quiet decisions, and one of the most powerful tools in that process is setting boundaries. When a relationship is hurting you, pulling away can feel impossible, especially if you're used to going back again and again. That's why boundaries matter. They protect your progress while your heart is still catching up. A boundary might look like, I won't answer his calls after 8. I won't see him unless I feel emotionally safe. I won't keep explaining myself to someone who refuses to listen. These limits don't make you cruel. They make you conscious, and each one chips away at the pattern that's kept you stuck. At first, your brain might scream that you're being too harsh or too distant. but you're not. You're finally showing yourself the respect you've been giving someone else for too long. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. And sometimes closing one is how you begin to open a new chapter. Before I move on to the next point, let me know if this video has been helpful so far by leaving a comment down below. The next step is seeking support. If all of this sounds overwhelming to you, remember, you don't have to go through this alone. When you feel like leaving a relationship that's hurting you, the journey can be confusing, even isolating. That's why having someone beside you matters. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, or even an online support group, that connection makes all the difference. You need someone who reminds you of the truth when your heart forgets. Someone who's been there. Someone who doesn't ask, why didn't you leave sooner? But instead says, I get it. Let's keep going. Support isn't just comfort, it's accountability. It keeps you steady on the days when you want to go back and strong on the days when you're ready to move forward. Speaking up. Many painful relationships survive in silence. Both people pretend. One pretends to love, the other pretends to be okay. That silence becomes a shelter for the hurt to continue quietly. To break free, you have to speak the truth out loud, even if it shakes, even if it's just in a letter or a message or a voice note. Tell them how you've been hurting. Name what's been happening. Say what you need, because silence doesn't protect you. It only protects the problem. Speaking up brings the reality from the shadows. The next step is to accept that life is imperfect. One thing that we have to accept too late is that we can't fix everyone. Many women stay in painful relationships because they're holding on to the fantasy of what could be instead of accepting what is. You keep trying, you keep hoping, you think, if I just love harder, maybe they'll change. But love isn't a repair tool. Research shows perfectionism keeps people stuck in unfixable relationships. You end up pouring your energy into someone who isn't pouring back. It's like investing in stock that just keeps sinking, hoping it will rise again, while losing more of yourself every day. At some point, choosing peace means accepting that not everything that's broken can be saved. And that's okay. You're not a failure for walking away. You're finally learning that your heart deserves better. The next step is practicing self-care. Spent so long trying to be enough for someone else, it's easy to forget how to be enough for yourself. But healing begins the moment you start giving your energy back to you. Self-care isn't about just face masks or bubble baths. It's how you treat yourself when no one is watching. It's how you speak to yourself after a hard day. It's letting yourself sleep, eat, rest, grieve without guilt. Sometimes we chase happiness in a relationship that hurts just because we've forgotten that you can feel joy on your own. But when you start noticing the beauty in small things, a cup of coffee, a peaceful walk, a good song, you start to teach your heart that joy doesn't have to come from someone else. And the more joy you feel within, the less you crave pain disguised as love. The next step is to rewrite your story and start over. Your story isn't over just because one chapter has ended. It's okay to start again with no timeline, no pressure, and no shame. Let go of the idea that one broken relationship defines your worth. It doesn't. You're allowed to heal, to rediscover your voice, to rewrite your narrative, not as a victim, but as a survivor who chose to rise. Let yourself rebuild slowly, with intention, with grace. The past can shape you, but it doesn't get to own your future. Finally, meet other people, meet new people. This is my final advice of how to let go of a hurtful relationship. When the time feels right, open your heart again. Not because you need someone new to move on, but because connection is part of being human. Meeting new people can be healing. It reminds you that not everyone is here to hurt you. Surround yourself with those who make you feel seen, safe, and inspired. It's okay to be cautious. It's okay to take your time. But don't let a painful past convince you to close the door on a healthy future. The love you deserve still exists, and it's waiting for the version of you who knows her worth. Letting go of someone you once loved, even if they hurt you, isn't a simple decision. It rarely happens at once. Most of the time, it unfolds in the quiet moments. A deep breath, a broken promise, a night you finally sleep better without them. If this video gave you strength, clarity, or even a little peace, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs this message, or drop a comment if you're walking this path too, because connection starts with being seen. If you're unable to let go of a hurtful relationship, I have recorded a private video if you want to hear it from someone who's been through the same situation. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.